Backstage at America's Got Talent 2025, there is a kind of electricity in the air that only happens on nights when something extraordinary is about to take place, even if nobody realizes it yet. Crew members in black headsets hurry past with clipboards, sound technicians adjust cables and microphones, and nervous contestants rehearse their last-minute lines. The air hums with anticipation, tension, and dreams colliding all at once. In the middle of this whirlwind stands Aiden Reyes, a 16-year-old Filipino teenager with soft brown eyes, shaky hands, and a heart carrying more weight than any boy his age should. He clutches a vintage silver microphone, an old, slightly scratched heavy metal mic that once belonged to his mother. On the stem, faintly carved by hand, is her name, Luz. Aiden runs his thumb across the engraving the way someone might touch a rosary. It steadies him. Just a little. "Are you ready, sweetheart?" a backstage assistant asks warmly. Aiden nods, though his stomach twists. Ready? In truth, he feels like the air might leave his lungs at any second. But he whispers anyway, so quietly that only he can hear, "Para sa'yo, Mom, for you, Mom." Just then, a stage crew member lifts a curtain slightly. A blast of bright white and gold light spills in. The roar of the arena, thousands of people, echoes through. Aiden squints. His heart speeds up. This is it. A stage manager signals, "Contestant 3928, Aiden Reyes. You're on in 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 breaths. 5 heartbeats." Aiden steps forward. The moment his foot hits the glossy black stage floor, his world changes. The noise swells. The lights refocus. The audience sees a young, nervous Filipino teenager with a mic shaking in his hand. His dark hair is combed slightly back in a soft, Elvis-inspired style. Not intentional, just the way his mom used to fix it for school events. Tonight, he did it himself, carefully, the way she would have done. He walks to the center mark, a glowing white X on the floor. The judges sit before him, illuminated by the iconic AGT table lights. Simon Cowell, in his familiar white shirt and intense stare, leans forward with mild curiosity. Heidi, gorgeous in gold, offers a warm smile. Sophia beams with encouragement, and Howie, hands folded, studies him closely. "Hello!" Sophia's voice rings through the speakers. "What's your name?" Aiden swallows. His throat tightens. I'm Aiden Reyes," he says softly. The microphone picks up the slight tremor in his voice. "And where are you from?" Heidi asks. "From the Philippines," he replies. The crowd erupts with cheers. Loud, loving, supportive. The sudden wave of energy startles him, but it also fills him with a strange warmth. Filipinos in the audience shout, waving small flags. Some stand and clap. A small smile touches Aiden's lips. "What will you be doing for us today?" Howie asks. Aiden lifts the mic, gripping it as if it might slip away. I'm singing a song my mom used to sing to me." The judge's expressions soften instantly. Simon raises an eyebrow. "Is your mom here with you tonight?" Aiden's breath catches. He looks down. A quiet pause. "No," he says gently, "but I hope she's watching." Simon's face changes. A flicker of understanding, of something deeper, crosses his eyes. The auditorium grows still. It's as if every person in the massive theater leans in, waiting, feeling, connecting. "Take your time," Simon says softly. Aiden nods once. He closes his eyes. The lights dim into a warm, golden amber. A soft spotlight settles over him. The stage around him darkens until he seems to float in a pocket of glowing light. The first note of the instrumental begins, slow, tender, nostalgic. Aiden breathes in deeply. His chest rises, his shoulders relax. He lifts the microphone toward his lips. Then he sings, and everything changes. Aiden's voice doesn't sound like what anyone expected from the shy boy they saw moments ago. It is deep, rich, smooth, with a velvety warmth that echoes the iconic style of Elvis Presley. But it isn't an imitation. It's Elvis, blended with emotion so raw that every note feels like it's painted with memory and love. A wave of gasps ripples through the audience. Heidi's eyes widen. Sophia presses her hands over her heart. Howie leans in, eyebrows raised. And Simon, who has heard thousands upon thousands of voices, looks stunned. Aiden opens his eyes briefly, glancing at the audience, then closes them again, Because when he sings with his eyes shut, he sees his mother sitting beside him on the roof of their old home in Manila, humming along as jeepneys pass in. The distance. He hears her laugh. He remembers her hand on his cheek. His voice grows stronger, fuller, shaped by love, loss, and longing. The audience grows silent, not because they aren't moved, but because they don't want to miss a single sound. You could hear a pin drop in that room. When Aiden reaches the first chorus, something incredible happens. His voice climbs with a golden, trembling power that feels too big for his young age. It echoes through the rafters, filling every seat, every heart. People whisper, "Who is this kid? He sounds like Elvis," but emotional, deeper. Simon leans closer, almost mesmerized. Aiden continues, his voice opening like sunlight breaking through clouds. He sings with the kind of passion that doesn't come from training. It comes from pain, from devotion, from love. His hand tightens around the old microphone. His heart pours into every note. By the time the verse melts into the next chorus, the entire theater is spellbound. Aiden feels the warmth of the spotlight, but for the first time tonight, he isn't scared. He sings for her, only her, his mother. And in that moment the world listens. Aiden holds the microphone tightly as the sea flows into its gentle mid-section. The theater, moments ago buzzing with excitement, has grown still, so still that it feels like the entire room is breathing in sync with him. The giant LED screen behind him gradually brightens, shifting from soft golds to a slow-fading vignette. Then it appears, a photograph, a young Filipino woman with kind, warm eyes, holding a little boy with the same soft brown eyes Aiden has today. She's laughing, hugging him to her chest. Her hair is slightly messy from the wind, but her smile is bright enough to light up any room. The audience reacts instantly. Soft gasps, murmurs, a few sniffles. Aiden's breath catches. He knew that photo would appear, but nothing could prepare him for seeing it there, enormous, glowing, alive, above him. His mother, immortalized on one of the biggest stages on earth. He closes his eyes briefly. "Stay strong," he tells himself. She would want you to finish the song. The music softens even more, leaving room for his voice to fill the space. He sings the next verse, quieter, more fragile, as if each word is being pulled directly from his heart. The power of his Elvis-like voice remains, but now it carries a trembling DGE, a vulnerability that feels like it could shatter at any moment. The audience leans forward. They can feel it. They can hear the story. They can sense the loss. The camera operators instinctively move closer, capturing Aiden's eyes glistening under the stage lights. The live stream feed picks up every tiny emotional shift, every tremble of his lower lip, every breath that quivers with memory. On the judges' panel, Heidi is wiping a tear before she even realizes it. Sophia's hand is pressed against her heart. Howie sits unusually still, captivated, but Simon stares with a depth of focus rarely seen from him. Aiden reaches the line he practiced 1,000 times in his room, the line he feared he wouldn't be able to sing without crying. "I still hear your voice, even when the world is quiet." His voice cracks, not in a messy way, not in a nervous way, in the kind of way that makes the entire room feel a wave of emotion so real, it's almost unbearable. Someone in the audience whispers, "Oh my God." Another sniffles. A few cover their mouths, overwhelmed. Aiden opens his eyes again. He doesn't look at the judges. He doesn't look at the crowd. He looks at the screen, at her. At the mother who used to sit beside him on their small Manila balcony at night, humming Elvis songs while the city lights flickered below. At the woman who saved up for months just to buy him his first karaoke microphone. At the mother who told him again and again, "Your voice is a gift, Aiden. Use it." He sings through the memory, the ache turning into melody. As he reaches the bridge, the music swells, wrapping him in a blanket of strings and soft piano. His voice grows stronger again, rising, blooming, filled with emotion that scrapes against the heart. The cameramen capture the audience. People are crying openly. A mother and daughter in the front row hold each other. A man in the back wipes his tears with his sleeve. The judges' reactions deepen. Heidi's mascara runs slightly. Sophia whispers, "Oh my God." Under her breath, Howie has his hand over his mouth, stunned. And Simon doesn't blink, his lips pressed together tightly. His jaw clenches, not in anger, not in judgment, but in something almost like empathy. Aiden lifts his face as he reaches the final chorus. This time he sings it not with fragility, but with a soaring emotional power that shook the room. His Elvis-like tone becomes fuller, more resonant, echoing through every corner of the theater. It's not just singing, it's release, it's grief turning into art. He sings the last notes with a long, trembling sustain, his voice breaking and recovering in the most heartbreakingly beautiful way. The sound hangs in the air, echoing like a prayer. Then, silence. Aiden lowers the microphone. He keeps his eyes closed for a moment. He doesn't trust himself to open them. He breathes in, slow, shaky, like a wave just crashed through him. The room is frozen. Then a single clap rings out, then another. And suddenly, the entire theater erupts into thunderous applause. People stand instantly, chairs scratching against the floor. The ovation rises like a tidal wave, powerful and overwhelming. Aiden opens his eyes. He looks shocked, almost frightened by the intensity of the reaction. The judges stand too, slowly at first, but then fully, moved beyond words. Heidi is crying openly. Sophia claps with trembling hands. Howie shakes his head, as if he can't believe what he just witnessed. And Simon is already standing, arms folded lightly, his face soft in a way rarely seen. On AGT. His eyes shine just a little. This isn't just applause. This is a tribute being received. Aiden brings the microphone close one more time and whispers into it, barely audible over the roaring cheers. Para sa'yo, Mom. For you, Mom. The moment lands like a gentle punch to the soul. The applause grows even louder. Aiden looks up at the glowing photo of his mother, golden, warm, smiling down on him. For the first time since she passed, he feels like she's right there on stage with him. The cheers continue long after Aiden's final whispered tribute. The entire theater stands, thousands of people clapping, shouting, emotional, swept up in the electricity he created. The golden confetti machines above the stage remain still for now, but the energy in the room feels like they could erupt at any second. Aiden stands in the center of it all, frozen. He's trembling, not from fear anymore, but from the overwhelming shock of what he's just done. He lets out a shaky breath, wiping the corner of his eye. Even the stage lights seem gentler on him now, as if they too understand they're witnessing something rare. Slowly, the standing ovation begins to settle. The audience quiets. No. Completely, but enough for the judges to speak. Aiden lowers his head, trying to compose himself. Sophia is the first to speak. She leans forward, voice trembling slightly from the emotion still thick in the air. Aiden, that was one of the most beautiful tributes I've ever seen on this stage. The crowd cheers again, briefly. Sophia continues, her hand on her heart. You sing with so much love, so much soul. I felt every word, every note, and I think your mother just witnessed something incredible. Aiden covers his mouth, eyes watering again. Next is Heidi, who is still wiping tears from beneath her eyes. My goodness, Aiden, your voice is unbelievable. It's like you have this old soul, this timeless sound that you carry in your heart. Her voice cracks. But more than the voice, it was your emotion. You made this entire room feel something real. Howie nods firmly, leaning toward the microphone. Aiden, there are singers, and then there are storytellers, and tonight you told a story that none of us will forget. You turned your pain into something beautiful, something powerful. That is what greatness looks like. The audience claps again, but all eyes turn toward Simon. Aiden tightens his grip on the microphone. Of all the judges, Simon is the one he fears and hopes to impress the most. Simon is quiet. He doesn't rush. He doesn't smile yet. He simply observes Aiden for a moment, studying him. The boy, the voice, the heart behind the performance. Finally, Simon leans forward, folding his hands. Aiden, he begins softly, his voice unusually gentle. You have just delivered one of the most emotional performances I have seen on this show, and I mean that, truly. A murmur of agreement ripples through the audience. Simon continues, his voice gaining strength. I have judged this competition for many years. I've seen thousands of singers walk onto this stage, and occasionally, just occasionally, someone comes along who changes the energy in the entire room. He pauses. You did that. Aiden's breath catches. Simon gestures to the photograph behind Aiden, the image of his mother holding him as a child. I didn't know your story. I didn't know what you were carrying in your heart when you walked out here, but when you sang, it felt like every emotion, every memory, every piece of your mother's love poured out of you. The room is silent again, and then Simon says something that makes Aiden's knees weaken. Aiden, this wasn't just a performance. He points at him. This was history. The audience erupts into cheers. Aiden's eyes widen. His chest rises and falls quickly, overwhelmed. Simon stands up slowly, purposefully. The moment he stands, people in the audience gasp. They know what's coming. He steps away from the judges' table. Aiden freezes. His heart is pounding. His legs feel like they're about to give out. Simon looks at him, eyes soft but firm. I think, he says, voice deep and resonant, your mother would be incredibly proud of you. And then, Simon slams his hand onto the golden buzzer. Boom! The signature AGT explosion sound roars through the theater. Golden confetti blasts from the ceiling in torrents, raining down on the stage like a storm of sunlight. The audience screams. Joyful, wild, unstoppable, Aiden's hands fly to his face as he collapses to his knees. He sobs openly, not out of sadness, but from a tsunami of relief, love, and disbelief. The confetti sticks to his hair, his face, his clothes, sparkling with every tear that falls. Backstage, contestants and W members shout with excitement. Some jump in celebration. Others cry too, moved by the moment. The judges stand beneath the falling gold. Heidi claps above her head, beaming. Sophia is crying again, wiping her cheek. Howie applauds with a proud smile. But Simon doesn't clap. Instead, he walks onto the stage, something he rarely does. Aiden is still kneeling, overwhelmed, shaking. Simon approaches him, kneels beside him, and places a gentle hand on his shoulder. Aiden, he says softly over the roaring cheers, you deserve this, every bit of it. Aiden looks up, barely able to speak. Thank you, sir. The confetti keeps falling. The music swells, the iconic golden buzzer anthem echoing through the theater. Audience members hold their phones high, capturing the moment that will undoubtedly go viral. The Filipino teen with the Elvis-like voice receiving one of AGT's most emotional golden buzzers ever. Aiden rises slowly, still trembling. He looks up through the rain of gold, toward the photo of his mother on the screen, and for the first time since she passed, he smiles, not a broken smile, but a full one, a smile of triumph, of healing, of love. He whispers Ain, for himself alone. Para sayo, Mom. For you, Mom. The confetti swirls around him like blessings from above. The crowd chants his name, Aiden, Aiden, Aiden. And in that breathtaking golden moment, Aiden Reyes' life changes forever.